Greetings YouTubers and fans of Apple Stump Bushcraft Stuff and Things. Today we have another 2004 vintage MRE review. This time it's menu number 22, Jambalaya. Featuring, as the main course, jambalaya, some kind of candy, pound cake, cheese spread with jalapeno, wheat snack bread, a beverage base, hot sauce, accessory packet A, a good old MRE spoon, and a flameless ration heater. Today's featured special guest peelable seal opener is this old birch handled little knife. Used to belong to my son when he was a boy, and he used it pretty hard. The handle cracked, and I reinforced it with some stitching thread and super glue to make that pretty hard, and it's pretty sharp, so let's get to it. And let's see what we have inside. Ooh, right on top. This would be the cheese and jalapeno spread. 275th day of 2004. And as for the rest of the contents, voila. From the 272nd day of 2004 comes vanilla pound cake. That ought to be good. And 321st day of 2004, accessory packet A. Peanut M&Ms. Don't believe they have packing date on that. (239th day of 2004) comes grape beverage base powder. Feels a little bit chunky in there. We'll see what's up with that. 286th day of 2004, wheat snack bread. Flameless ration heater. Comes to us from 309th day of 2004. You might be able to see that there. And our main, ham and shrimp jambalaya. And that is from the 281st day of 2004. Let's open that up. Jambalaya with ham and shrimp, it says. 281st day, 2004. So that's our main. And we're going to try heating it in the flameless ration heater, but as always, we'll have on standby a pot of boiling water. And we already have an MRE spoon unwrapped and ready to go, so we'll set that one to the side, and we'll be using that again to open up some of the entrees as well as our main course once it's heated. Let's check out the contents of the accessory packet. Pretty standard by the looks of it, but we'll see. I can tell already there's Taster's Choice instant coffee in there, freeze dried of course, which pretty much lasts forever, and I won't be using that, but we'll take it out. Non-dairy creamer, dry. It even has a packing date on it, 258th day of 2004. Imagine that. And we have the good old reliable damp-proof matches, white tip, and as always we'll demonstrate that they're good or whether they're not. There we have the peculiar orange flame to start it up. Iodized salt, moist towelette, 2 pieces of gum. I'm always interested to see how the Tabasco sauce holds up. You can see it's liquid. Sometimes these are dry and there's just a little pellet of dry hot sauce down the bottom, but this one maintained its liquidity, if that's a word. So, Tabasco. 4 grams of Domino's sugar. For those of you who are interested in calorie counts, every gram of sugar has 4 calories, so that's 16, right? 16 calories. And last but not least, our little packet of Lighthouse toilet paper. So that's the accessory packet. Okay, let's see what the story is with the grape beverage base powder. Use our peelable seal opener to get the inside scoop on that. I'll take a look inside. Nice blue color. Granules are pretty small in general. It smells like artificial grape. Little fine powder coming up out of there. Now let's add some cold water and see how it turns out. Right away it's really dark purple, or really dark bluish purple. And that's probably about enough water. It's going to take a while for that to dissolve. You can feel and hear scraping around on the bottom of that cup, which is the granules that haven't dissolved yet. So that should be fun. While we're waiting for that to do its thing, we'll need this jalapeno cheese spread a little bit, and we'll get back with the wheat snack bread. There's the wheat snack bread coming out. Looks typical for what it is. Lots of little holes in it. I don't know why they put those in there. Might have something to do with the machinery. It's certainly not designed, I don't think, to look like a cracker. Let's make us a little pouring spout on the end of this. Like so. You can see the texture of that bread. Usually this is pretty dry and arguably thirst-provoking. We'll see how it is with the cheese spread. So the cheese spread's coming out kind of orangish tan. Hard to say which it is more. Smells typical for 15-year-old cheese spread. But we'll give it a shot. Not bad, actually. Usually the jalapeno aspect of this cheese spread doesn't kick in for a while. Just now getting it, getting the flavor of it. It tastes fine. There's another big old glob of it there. The snack bread's kind of dry, a little chewy. I wouldn't say it's dough consistency, but it's kind of chewy. Texture is pretty nice. Jalapeno cheese sets it off pretty well. Otherwise, that would be rather flavorless. Let's have a sip of the grape drink. Cheers. Reminds me in a way of the is it knee-high or Hires grape drink that used to come in a soda bottle back in the day. Get it out of vending machines. Non-carbonated in this case, but the taste is quite similar. And let's make a cheese buddy. I don't know how well that's going to show up, but there he is right on the end. A cheese buddy. In honor of our friend Pauly over in the UK. I think this would be pretty dry and you'd want to have a drink of something if you're eating that without the cheese spread. As it is, however, the cheese spread adds a certain amount of moisture to it, so it's not too bad. Let's see how the M&Ms held up, shall we? First of all, you don't feel any broken ones, that's good. Watching another reviewer who had some older, I think they were from the 90s, plain M&Ms that came into his MRE, and he said they were bad to the bone and not worth eating. Okay, so right away some of these are cracked, but otherwise not too badly damaged. This is the only one that has any of the shell broken at all. And you can see the peanut in there and the chocolate. Well, let's eat that one, shall we? Here we go. Here's to your good health. A little bit stale, otherwise they're okay. Barely. Ugh. Whoa. That was one stale peanut, man. I'm going to chalk that up to that one being broken open. Let's try one that isn't. Try this one. That's better, more like a fresher one. But I have to say that one with the broken shell on it was pretty rancid, and I may regret having eaten it. but we do it all for you. Okay, get that out of the way. I think we'll move these over here. And see what the pound cake is about. It's supposed to be vanilla, according to the package. And shelf-stable oxygen absorber. In case we're tempted to, it says, do not eat. Shucks, I wanted to eat that and see what it was like. Oh well, maybe next time. So you can see the pound cake kind of rough around the edges. Tastes okay though. Smells a little vanilla-like. There's a little bit of crusting of sugar on top. I don't know if you can see the sparkling going on top of there. Yep, there you go. Not sure which is the top and which is the bottom. It's awfully crumbly. We'll give it a taste here. Dry as a bone. I'm gonna have to have a little help with that one. Doesn't taste rancid at all. There's a slight hint of vanilla, but it is very, very dry. I don't see how anybody could eat this without something to drink on the side. And as you can see, it's crumbled all over everything. Have another bite. Dry. That grape drink is a lifesaver, believe me. Alright, I have an errand to run, so I'm not going to have time right now to get into the jambalaya, but we'll do that when I get back. Alright, we're back from our errand, and it's about time to try to heat up this jambalaya in the flameless ration heater. So let's open it up. Let's see if I can get inside that envelope. There we go. I'm going to pull the heating element out a little bit, make it easier to slide the main in there. And line them up. I like to have the heating element about right in the middle of the main. Or thereabouts. That's right. A bit of water. The original cardboard container for the main. Slide it in there when it's ready. To the fill line. Right. Fold it over. Now let's see if it's going to heat up. If not, we'll have a pot of boiling water standing by. Had fairly decent luck with these older FRHs, but not all of them have worked. So this one may be one of those that doesn't. Now it's getting hot. Whole thing covered there. time it starts making all that gas. Alright, we got something to lean it up against over there. And we'll let it give it about 15 minutes. See if it's going to heat up sufficiently hot. Otherwise, into the boiling water it will go. Now, back to the other ingredients. We'll have some more of the snack bread with jalapeno cheddar on it. I assume that this one once was pretty yellow, but right now it's kind of a, I don't know what you'd call that, it's some shade of orange. Very subdued. You can hear that cooking. The jalapeno is very, very mild. I know Pauly's Hobbies and things doesn't really care for it, but this is just barely even tell it's in there. There's no heat whatsoever. I'll have to give a nod to Doug of Pine Tree Line Outdoors up in Silbury, Ontario, I believe it is. He had a really bad package of M&Ms that came out of a 1990s vintage MRE, and I wondered how M&Ms could possibly go bad. But that first one out of here, that red one that was cracked, was so horrible I almost couldn't swallow it, but I did. The rest of these, a couple of them are cracked, but none of them are missing the shell. So we'll try a yellow one here and see what happens. Tastes okay. A little bit on the off side. Tastes a little old. That's primarily, I think, the peanut that tastes that way. I don't think I'm going to eat the rest of them. They're just, I don't know why. You buy a package of brand new ones and not have to deal with that rancid or old taste. Well, let's have some more jalapeno cheese and snack bread. I guess I'm not paying enough attention to this crumbly pound cake, which is drier than the Sahara Desert. Could probably use it for a sponge. It's okay, it tastes alright, it's not rancid or anything. But it's just exceptionally dry and the flavor is very mild. But it does have a distinct vanilla aftertaste, which is okay. Better than no taste at all. A little bit more of the jalapeno cheese spread. Now, it's too bad about these M&Ms being relatively old tasting, a little bit rancid in the peanut, because they would have been a pretty welcome addition to this ration back in the day when it was fresh. soldiers in the field probably love to have these as a reminder of home, a taste of home. M&M's pretty prevalent on the grocery store shelves here in the U.S., going back for many years. Okay, let's get some idea. I got some idea of it. That's very hot. I can't stand to touch the back of that box back here. I'll hold it by the sides. This is very, very hot. So I think we'll probably not need the boiling water, but I'm going to give it another 7 minutes or so before we try opening that. Hopefully the heat will have dispersed evenly throughout that main course envelope and everything will be ship shape. I'm thinking we won't need the boiling water for the jambalaya. It's still very hot on the hot on the back side, which is the side that the heating element is on. Take a look at that ingredients list and see how long it is. All the good wholesome ingredients that Mom used to put in jambalaya, right? Cooked ham with natural juices. Cured with water, salt, sugar, sodium phosphate, sodium erythorbate, and sodium nitrite. Cooked shrimp, sodium tripolyphosphate, sodium bisulfate. Added as a preservative. Cooked long grain parboiled rice, enriched with iron, ferric orthophosphate, and thiamine mononitrate. Tomato juice, salt, calcium chloride, citric acid, water, chicken broth, dehydrated onion, 2% or less of the following: corn oil, concentrated crushed tomatoes, modified food starch, dehydrated celery with added sodium bisulfite, garlic powder, smoke flavoring, spice, and salt. Yeah, Mom used to put all that stuff in it. Jambalaya. It's still really hot on the bottom, so I'm going to continue to take advantage of that and let it thoroughly saturate the main pouch with heat. Well, we're just about ready to get the main course jambalaya and ham and shrimp out onto the tray. It's still pretty hot, and so I'm waiting the last couple minutes to let that heat thoroughly penetrate the entree. In the meantime, we have just over 900 subscribers to the channel, and if and when we get to 1,000, we're going to have another giveaway, and it'll be a pretty cool prize. I already know what I'm going to offer for the prize, and it's substantial. So look for future videos. When we approach 1,000, we'll be announcing what the prize is and what you need to do to get your name in the hat, as it were, and be selected as the lucky winner. Alright, that's still quite hot, but I'm going to go ahead and bring it out. And I'm going to take this over, get the main out of it, and rinse the envelope off because it'll have some residue from the FRH. And I'll be right back. Okay, here we go. There's the main entree pouch. I'm going to mash it. Ooh, ow, that's hot down there in the bottom. Mash it around a little bit to get the heat more evenly dispersed in the contents. And then kind of squeeze it away from the top, and we'll use this old Norwegian sheath knife here to do the honors. And there it is. Smells pretty spicy. Let's see if we can eject it from the envelope here. I don't want to leave too much behind. A lot of people might put that Tabasco on top of this, but I won't, because Tabasco and I don't get along. For reasons which shall remain unspoken. Alright. Open this up a little bit. It's supposed to have shrimp in it. And I don't see any, but I do see ham and rice. So here's a couple of pieces of ham on that spoon. Maybe you can see it's steaming. It is. It's very hot. Okay, here we go. It's not bad. It's a little bit dry. Most of the time when I've eaten jambalaya in the past, and it happens to be one of my favorite dishes, it's a little bit more moist. Not quite soupy, but moist. I think the rice has soaked up whatever there might have been of moisture in here to begin with. There's plenty of ham in there and lots of rice. Tastes pretty good. It's not overly spicy, not overpowering in its spiciness or Cajun flavor, I guess you could say. Jambalaya, I think, is a Cajun food, or Cajun menu anyway. That said, let's have another bite. Still haven't run across anything that looks like a shrimp in there. There's a slight, barely detectable seafood flavor in there, which might be from the shrimp or from the shrimp juices, I guess they called it on the package. And there's a piece of celery. I saw that. Even though this isn't the best entree I've ever eaten, for some reason I can't stop eating it. So I'm going to have yet another spoonful. There's a certain amount of, geez, I can't identify the spice other than it might be some kind of pepper, some kind of like a red pepper in there. A little bit of heat, not much, just a little, more than the jalapeno cheese had by several factors, but still just only mildly spicy hot. Very tolerable. Not going to break out in a sweat or anything from that. I'll continue to explore for shrimp. I suspect that any of them that were in here were long ago absorbed, turned to mush. There is a piece of tomato. I hope that's what it is. Either that or it's red pepper. Tomato. But sadly, nothing that looks like a whole shrimp or part of a shrimp, not even a miniature one. But lots and lots and lots of ham. It's just everywhere in there. There's everywhere. There's, I don't know, 5 or 6 pieces in that little spoonful. Have a little slurp of our grape drink. Okay, time to issue our findings. And we'll give it letter grades. Alright, so the wheat snack bread, I give that a B. The cheese, cheddar cheese and jalapeno spread, also a B, because the jalapeno is very, very understated in that. I would like it to be a little spicier, a little more present. The pound cake, give that a C+. It has a very mild vanilla flavor, very, very mild, and yet it's detectable. The only reason I didn't give it a higher grade than a C+ is because it's so darn dry that you almost have to have something to drink in order to eat it. The M&Ms, I give them a C. These are by far the most rancid tasting M&Ms. Even the ones that are intact are a little bit rancid tasting. I've never come across that in M&Ms before. And I give the Jambalaya a B. I would like it to have been a little moister than it is, and I would like it to have actually had something that appeared to be a shrimp in it, since on the package it says ham and shrimp Jambalaya. Maybe by shrimp they mean little tiny shrimpy little shrimp. Anyway, a B. It's flavorful. I wouldn't reject it. If I were taking this food out into the forest for a camping trip or hunting, I would eat everything here. Maybe not those. I might save those in case I needed a quick energy boost or something. And I would only eat that in camp where I had some water handy. I wouldn't use up my canteen water on my belt if I was out on the trail to wash that down with. So that would be in camp only. This would be okay. The snack bread in and of itself is probably a B. It's not so dry that you have to have something to wash it down with, but it lacks much discernible flavor. So overall, oh, and the grape drink. The grape drink is an A. It's fine. It is what it says it is, and it tastes good. And there's no hint of age or anything like that. So here we have a meal that's arguably 15 years old. Pardon me. This being the year 2019 and June 6th as I make this video. So this is pretty close to that 15-year-old mark. These were packed in the year 2004, and it's 2019 now, so that's 15 years ago. And I've had this ration and all the rest of them in the lot that it came from since 2005, I believe. They were well within their inspection dates when I bought them. They were essentially brand new. They've been kept in controlled conditions, room temperature or lower, and in the freezer for over a year. Sadly, I only have one left, and I'm not sure what menu that is. We'll see next time. And then I'm going to have to get some newer ones, and I think I'm going to try to get a hold of a carton or 2 cartons, so that would be either 12 or 24 rations that are within their inspection date. And we'll see if we can tell, and we should be able to tell, a difference in freshness. So to close things out, this has been a review of a Warnick Company 2004 vintage military MRE, menu number 22, ham and shrimp jambalaya. I'm going to be unboxing a MRE from New Zealand that my sister sent me. She lives over there. She's a citizen of New Zealand, and she contacted me a while back and asked me if I'd like to have a New Zealand MRE, and I said not only yes, but of course I would. So the next little video to follow will be unboxing that New Zealand MRE. So thank you. Hope you're all well. Take care. Stay safe. And we'll see you next time. Adios.